When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. We've got two guests from now until 11 o'clock. Our first is a muralist, and the second, a man battling for his life. He's got cancer and needs your help. The number here, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in a moment. Arts and culture is the focus of the first half hour here on Connect with Me on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6 on this day. Showroom floor at Ventura TV. The second half hour, we'll talk to a man, a young football coach, still a very young guy battling for his life. He needs your help. He's got some donations, blood donations coming up here in the near future in August and September. We'll talk to him between 10:30 and 11, and your phone calls are very much encouraged. But here in the first half hour between 10 and 10:30, your phone calls are also encouraged, because we're going to be talking about that big pipe dream, that pie in the sky. You've heard the saying, when I retire, I think I might go skydiving, I might go play golf, or I'm going to take up painting. Well, my friends, our guest today here in the first half hour of Connect with Me decided to take up painting well before retirement. Take you to the videotape, show you exactly what I am talking about. Hey, there's the Warners. My friends, he has been painting his entire life. 35 years plus in painting murals is what he does best. In recent years, just around here in the city of Fresno alone, FranCisco Vargas probably has roughly 15 or so murals that have his personal touch, his personal look and feel to it, and most certainly his signature. Two notables. First, the postage stamp mural that now graces the wall of the Pacific Publishing Building in downtown Fresno, which happens to be the home of the Business Journal. The one that was unveiled last month. And another huge one downtown, the Welcome to Fresno sign, wall located along Broadway. Vargas, now 63 years old, began painting signs for Albertsons years ago. Remember that? And that's where he learned the tricks of the trade, and he has honed his skills as a painter over the course of time. The past few decades, the Fresno native moved out of this city a few years ago, then came back. He painted his first mural in San Jose back in the 1970s. That is an absolutely gorgeous piece of art right there. Not just anyone can do that, my friends. Certainly I would not be able to do that. Live in our studio right now is FranCisco Vargas, who paints murals. He painted that beauty that you saw just a moment ago, and many others around the city of Fresno. He certainly has a specific talent that not just anybody has in this day and age today. We're going to be back with your phone calls. He's waiting to take your calls. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Can you paint? I don't know, maybe FranCisco can start teaching too. I don't know. Is he going to do that? We'll find out in just a moment as we come back here on the program.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Yep, when I retire, I'm going to do that big pie in the sky. I'm going to play golf. I'm going to paint. Yeah, right. That's never going to happen, right, FranCisco?
Sure you could.
Painting, I don't think is for me. I used to draw a long time ago, but painting is a completely different thing. That thing is a piece of work. It is a gorgeous piece of art, that mural that you just finished there. By the way, I kind of misstated. You didn't start painting at Albertsons, but you were a sign painter there, right?
Yeah, I worked there for a little while and did all the store displays and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of an art all by itself.
Oh yeah, doing show card sign painting is a whole field within itself.
Yeah.
But there was something. It was passing through the chapters of sign painting.
You know, I want to go through this thing chapter and verse. The wall mural at the Fresno Business Journal. I know it's called the Business Journal. In fact, the Business Journal. Let me hold this up on the camera before we go to the tape. This is the front page of the Journal just last month. The unveiling of that mural on the side of the building. It is, you know, it's stunning to see it. It's so large. Now, this thing is how big? The biggest in the U.S.?
It's the largest painted mural stamp in the United States right now. It's 34 feet by 125 feet long.
Okay, let's stop talking and let's start looking. Roll that videotape and take it. And you can describe how in the world did you do this? How long did it take you? How many man hours? Just go ahead and look at that monitor up there.
It took me about 5.5 months to, from the beginning to the end. And in the beginning, I had a few guys like Richard Bustamante and another guy, Brian, to help me do the background. And then we started setting up all the lettering. And then when I had all the letters done, they were all white, and everybody thought that the mural was completed. But that was like just one stage of it, and then I was taking it to the next level is when I started doing all the pictorials and all the graphics inside. So I wanted to get like this, you know, since Fresno was incorporated in 1885, and at that time, the postage was 2 cents.
Hey, keep it with that videotape. Let it roll till the bitter end. We'll take a call. Good morning, caller. What's your question?
Yeah, I would like to ask the man how he feels about taggers, and especially when they tag his murals.
Ah, good question. I knew
Yeah, a
that
lot
was
of
coming
times those are things that none of us want, even as a homeowner. People don't want their businesses destroyed or their houses marked up. And at one time I even taught some young youths how to do murals for Fresno Project Pride, and it got a lot of them to understand what it is to when you could just walk around and just destroy something in 5 minutes when somebody spends all their time on there. So yeah, no, it's not something that I think is good, but it's a lot of times a lot of these kids they got a lot of energy and they don't know what to do with it, and so they just release in certain ways. And so a lot of them are pretty creative, and if they were taught in the right direction, they could probably create a lot of things that are be in a positive way.
Okay, thanks, caller. So it took you, what, 5 months to complete that mural?
5.5 months.
5.5 months. I want to take another piece of videotape from that same mural, and I want to go over each letter because you painted something within each letter. I know we can't see the letters right now, but we will in a moment. So let's start with the F. It says Fresno on there. What's within the F of Fresno?
The F is, see, we're in the middle. Fresno's in the middle of the 2 national forests, Yosemite and Sequoia. So I put Yosemite on the left, and so you see Half Dome and Bridal Falls.
That's in the F.
That's in the F.
Okay.
And then you see William Saroyan. William Saroyan was a real well-known writer and author here in Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
Sun-Made Raisins was from the beginning one of the first businesses that started out here. And then we got the City Hall. It's when they built it, it was the architectural style of it. I like the way that they had did that. So there was a lot involved with that. And then you'll see the 2 visitors. It's a structure that was a sculpture that's on the mall of these 2 ladies that are talking.
Mm-hmm. That's just the F now.
That's just the F.
And that's you know, you're talking about actually painting in fine detail. Those are fine little intricacies and detail. I would imagine you'd have to take a pretty small brush to do all that, right?
Some of them was big brushes, some of them was real small brushes. So there was a lot involved in it.
Okay, let's move on to the R. What's within the R?
The R, if I'm trying to remember, let me see. Here we go. The
Yeah,
R,
that's okay.
I had.
Take your time. We're looking at the
Cesar
beautiful
Chavez,
pictures here.
And my daughter that lives in Los Angeles, she came down. She gave me a hand on because Roding Park is starting to make the new African Adventure. So you're going to see things in a lot of this mural that's not even here yet. So Fresno being one of the biggest cities in the state now, and being in the Central Valley, I talked to the people at the Roding Park, and so we got the African Adventure that's going to be there for the safari park. And then Storyland, I put that in there because I remember that as a kid. And you got Cesar Chavez.
And it says right here, our features labor leader Cesar Chavez, Fresno physician Dr. Chester Rowell, I believe.
Dr. Chester Rowell is very well known in Fresno history. He was there.
Audra McDonald.
McDonald's in there.
Olympian Randy Williams.
Randy Williams.
So you have quite a few Fresno people that you featured within the letters of Fresno on that mural. Roll another piece of videotape. I want to show another piece of this. We can't get enough of looking at this because, okay, it took you 5 months to paint it, but who actually came to you with this idea?
Kate Borders had, and Creative Fresno wanted something on this wall, but they didn't know what they wanted.
No, wait a minute. Back up.
Kate Borders is from the Downtown Fresno Partnership.
She's no longer there, by the way.
She's not there anymore. She moved out of state.
Okay.
And so Creative Fresno, a guy named Donovan wanted, from Creative Fresno, wanted something on the wall.
How'd they get in touch with you?
I've done work for Creative Fresno before.
There you are. Is that you? Up there? We missed it. That's okay.
Band.
Yeah.
And so they wanted, they didn't know what they wanted on the mural. So I came up with the idea of doing this stamp, because I did one in Pontiac, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And so that was the largest painted mural stamp in Pontiac, Illinois, when I did as a Wall Dog project leader.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it started, how they approached you.
Yeah.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, John and FranCisco.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
This is Ashley Webster calling from the Business Journal.
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Ashley.
Good morning,
How are
Ashley.
you guys doing today?
Oh, pretty good. I figured you might be calling in.
Oh, yeah. Had to for FranCisco. We miss him here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, FranCisco, I have a question for you. I haven't asked why you were working on the mural.
Yes.
Out of your whole painting career, what is your most favorite project you worked on and why?
Oh, I would say this one is definitely takes the cake. This one was the biggest challenge. It was the most rewarding. It was almost like being on stage every day, and it was like having a job that I know I can go to, not having to think about where am I going to work next month. And this one was, it was the cream of the crop. So I really enjoyed it, and I miss you guys being out there and seeing you guys
I know. You
passing
did
by every day. And
such a beautiful job. It was so nice to be greeted by you every day when we came in for work, but we just wanted to say hi and congratulations on this huge mural that you did. It's a huge landmark here in Fresno, and we're happy to have it on our wall here at the Business Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure.
Just looking at some video of the mural right now, Ashley. So we're kind of talking with FranCisco here about who approached who, and it was the city, I guess, Kate Borders, that initially approached him. How did the Business Journal get involved in this? Talk about your involvement.
You know what they did, Kate Borders and the Downtown Partnership, they came to us. We, had that big spot here on the wall on our building, and it's when you're coming down Van Ness, it was just a huge, beautiful blank wall, and they thought it'd be a great idea for a mural, and that's kind of how it all came together. They approached my dad, Gordy, and he loved the idea, and it kind of just started from there.
Amazing. Are you happy with it?
Oh, we love it. It's like we pull in the parking lot every morning for work, and we got to see it start from the blank wall all the way till the finish, and it is just a beautiful. Just when you drive down Van Ness, it's a nice little sight to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, it really is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Hey, when are you and your father going to come back on the show?
Well, I heard that you guys want us. We're ready to come back whenever. We have a couple things coming up, big that we're going to be doing, and we actually would like to come on the show and talk a little bit about it.
All right. Well, let us know. We'll put our guy here, Marcus, on the beat.
He's on it all the time.
I know. He's on the Fresno beat with you guys. No
yep,
question
he sure is.
About
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he really is. Ashley, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Tell your father we said hello.
We will. I will.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Ashley,
have a good
you.
day, and it was good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you. Thank you for calling. All right, Ashley Webster, of course, her and her father, they own the Business Journal, and
Oh, yeah.
this
Great
mural
people.
sits right on the side of that building. It's gorgeous. Got to take a break here with FranCisco Vargas, the one who paints murals. Hey, if you want him, he'll tell you how much he charges. If you want one on the side of your barn, your house, your garage, your business. We're back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Talking with FranCisco Vargas here, the one who paints murals. I want to, before I roll any videotape again, I want to continue talking about the Business Journal mural just real quick. It took you 5 months to paint. After you were approached, how do you go about setting up the letters and the measuring and knowing the right size for the letters and all of that? I mean, that takes how much preparation?
There was a lot of calculating involved, and the main thing is to start it off is I use a scale drawing. So my drawings is I measure that wall, and then I could take a picture of it, and then I could scale it to show the client what it's going to look like before I even put a drop of paint on there. So once I got that, it's like my roadmap to know how big each letter is going to be, how wide they're going to be, so everything falls right into
and where
place.
they're going to be on the wall.
It's going to be like a big giant puzzle.
So you're going to you take measurements of the wall from top to bottom.
Correct.
And then you figure out, okay, where is this going to sit? Where's the S going to go? Where's the N going to go? All that stuff.
So when you got your drawing, that's when you know where everything's going to fall into place.
So you paint a miniature one, a smaller one.
Well, actually, in this case,
scale.
I didn't do a painting of the miniature one. I did a
sketch?
rough pencil sketch, and then I showed them that one, and that's what they seen, and it was real close to what you're seeing right now.
Wow.
And so that one was...
are the measurements on this wall exactly the way you pictured it in the beginning?
Oh, they're very, very, very close.
Yeah. Yeah, from top to bottom, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the postage stamp? Why not something else?
I always liked postage art because there was so much intricacy, and it's almost like the currencies. But the one I did was in Pontiac, Illinois, and that it was a guy named Bill Diaz. He commissioned me to be one of the project leaders, and I did one for the Vermilion River.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing that one, and that one was 8 feet by 24 feet, and it had to do with the swinging bridges and a flour mill that the river ran right through there. So when I was doing that project, I said to myself, this would be really neat, is to do a big mural project like this of a stamp in Fresno. So when nobody knew what they wanted to make on this wall for the mural, I put together, I'll do the largest painted mural stamp here, and that wall was big, where I knew I could take the title and hold it for quite a while as for the largest painted mural stamp in the United States.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead. Well, you were on the air. Okay, so I want to roll some more videotape, and you did one downtown, the Welcome to Fresno downtown sign, or the mural. When did you complete that one?
Actually, that one was done twice. The first one was, I remember I was trying to get a mural because there was no signs in Fresno that said Welcome to Fresno. You go down the freeway and you'd always see all these different cities, they would say welcome to their city.
Right. Where is that sign located exactly?
That one's on Broadway next to Pep Boys.
Okay.
And that's Mecca Billiards. That's one of the first murals I did here in Fresno. And it was, that 8-ball right there is 9 feet in diameter. So it was a big 8-ball.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And so that's another beauty right there. How long did this one take you?
That one took me, I think, about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that.
2.5 weeks. Okay, caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yes, my question is to the host. My question as an artist, what do you think about tearing them all down and getting rid of some of those sculptures? Do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
What was that again?
What do you think about the Fulton Mall being torn down? torn out and then cars coming through.
Well, actually, what they're going to do with the mall, from what I understand, is they're not going to get rid of the sculptures. They're just going to relocate them to a different spot, so that way that the city, they can open it up and have a street going through there. And I remember as a kid seeing the mall being built, and I remember that it was great and it was beautiful. And to me, I think that it's good for a change, because now, after all these years, if you go there to the mall at night, it's kind of like it's deserted, it's dead. But if you look at different malls during the time that when they built the mall in Fresno, they also built one in Burbank. Now, if you go to LA in Burbank and you see the mall there in the evening, you can see a whole different world where it's live, and I think that's what Fresno's going to end up doing. It's going to do a transformation like that, and I think that would be a great thing for it. So as far as the art, I don't think they're not going to get rid of it.
I disagree with some of the points, but I think it was built for the city, and the city had an obligation to keep it up, and they failed. You figure a lot of these people don't have no culture. That's why they don't understand art and issues.
Oh, yeah, no, but I mean, as far as the sculptures and all that, they're not going to get rid of those. They can't do that. That's part of Fresno's history.
Yeah.
I cannot see the sculptures when cars are going up and down the street. It doesn't make sense. There's the idea of pollution and then lack of water you're going to be using to shut the dust down. They made a bad judgment.
Of course,
I think it should be voted to the city of Fresno, citizens to vote on it, to approve it or not to approve it.
Yeah, of course, that's a whole different debate. I mean, we've debated that issue on this show many times with politicians. Should the Fulton Mall stay as is? Should they tear it out?
Well, it's like one time they even wanted to do, like in San Antonio, have a river walk and have a river run through it. And I think that would have been a great idea. But then it came down to, it was like, during this time right now, there's no water. So it would be an empty, like a canal.
Yeah, it really would be. Got to take a break. Hey, we're with FranCisco Vargas, the one who paints murals. We're back with our program. 436 MeTV, option 11. Back in a moment.
Don't you ever hit me again!
Chief, I think we got a hit on our hands.
MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Back here on the show, talking with the one and only FranCisco Vargas. He's a legend right here in the city of Fresno. He paints murals. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. Caller? Hello?
Hi.
You're on the air.
Yes. Where in the newspaper or that you show all of the things that are on the picture?
What was that again? Where's the...
It's a business journal.
Was it in B or...
No.
You know...
No, the article was not in the B. The article, let me hold this up, okay? I don't know if you can see that on your monitor at home, but it was on the front page of the Fresno Business Journal. What's the date on that? I can't read it. Was that June 7th? June 6th. June 6th, okay, and the Fresno Business Journal. I'm sure you can go by the Business Journal and pick up a copy of this, and you can read the article about FranCisco and take a look at the mural out there. Now, let me ask you something before we get into another piece of videotape, which we have many more, and we've only got about 10 minutes left, but let's say somebody approaches you. They want a mural on the side of their business. What do you charge for it, depending on the size?
It depends on a lot of things. Involves is the wall. Is it a smooth wall? Is it textured? Is it bricks? Is it metal? Is it? There's so many varieties involved that it's kind of hard to just pinpoint and say, okay, it's 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is. They're all different because some have a lot of detail, some have less detail. So we just got to go by what's going to be on the drawing, and then I take it from there. Am I going to need special equipment?
What's this here, FranCisco?
That was it was a lady named, I think, Carrie Tan, and she won the contest for Granville, and she did she entered the contest, and so that was her drawing, and so they asked me to execute that drawing onto the wall to paint it up there because it was so high and it was something that not anybody could do, and there was so much detail involved in it. So I had to take her drawing and duplicate it to get it as close as possible.
Where's that located?
That one was on Fulton by Calaveras.
Okay, so is it more difficult to paint on, say, a brick wall than it would be, say, something that's made of concrete?
Yeah, brick walls are a little bit more difficult because you got all the grout in between, and then you got the crevices, and sometimes you got different ones. See, like that one was on panels, and so that one was kind of complicated because you got ridges, so it's like you're painting smooth, and then you got to go over and.
What's the easiest wall to paint on, would you say?
No, like that one. That one was a tricky texture because of the the material that the wall is put on.
Really?
Yeah, it was smooth, but at the same time you couldn't really make a mistake because it absorbed, and there was no touch-up color because it's the color of the plaster. So that one was a little different.
Is it easier to paint on a wall that's already dark in color, or would you rather paint on something that's light
I
in
can
color?
go either way. I can go dark to light to dark. It doesn't matter.
So again, getting back to your pricing, how do you determine that?
It's just what's involved in there. If there's a lot of detail, then it's going to be more.
Yeah. The larger it is, it's going to be
the larger.
more.
If I need special equipment, sometimes you might need an articulating boom lift to get up where you're going to go up and then over roofs and buildings and stuff.
So let's say on the Fresno Business Journal, you had to get up really high. How'd you get up there?
I've got a 30-foot on the one picture inside there. You'll see a lift that's on a van. I've got that, and that'll go up to 30 feet, and that was able to get me to the very top of the building so I could paint that top part. And then the other sections of it, I have a 20-foot mini scissor lift. So I was able to
So you have your own lifts?
Oh, yeah.
You got your own lifts?
Yes.
So that they're not provided for you?
No, I have my own equipment to do these jobs. So I'm a specialist.
Kidding. You got your own. Take a shot of this again. And see if I can get close there.
Yeah, see,
that's it. Yeah, that's you right. Go ahead and put your finger up there and point.
Yeah, there was right there.
Yeah, right there. That's you on the left.
Nigel Robinson is the one that shot that picture, and he did a really neat shot. He did like a panoramic shot of it, and then he worked on the old. And this guy's a very good, very top-notch artist. I've had other artists on there. I had Mali, who did General Vang Pao. I had Stephanie Allison that did the horse races. Rudy Contreras Jr. that helped. He did to help me do the skyline. Maru Carrera, he had helped on the Warner's Theater. So I had different artists that would come in and help do different parts of it that I wanted to just let them have a piece of it. At the same time, it was a big challenge for me because I had more pictorials than I've really ever done, but it was something that I wanted to just within myself.
How do you clean up a mess if a tagger comes along? I know we had that call earlier. How do you clean that up?
That's a tough one because sometimes they put graffiti clears on different murals, like the Welcome to Fresno one. That one got tagged, and I had a graffiti clear on there, but as time goes by, it wears out. So it's really hard.
Is it like graffiti proof in a way?
Yeah, and now they got different ones, but it's until I could see one that's been in progress for years, I really don't want to put any of these graffiti clears on it because some of them they yellow, and some of them they'll peel and they'll chip, and on the wall like this one, it was too much work to try to reproduce everything after, say you put a clear on there and then it starts to peel or it starts yellowing and it changes the color of it. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, obviously it would be. Any more videotape here we can roll? Yes, we do. We have many more here in the next few minutes. We can roll the tape and you can look up on the monitor and describe what we're seeing here.
That was a piano that was in a fire. It's a baby grand, and what it is that I've turned it into a bookshelf. And then on the bottom you see that table and I put LED lights in it so that way the bookshelf would light up in the evenings. And then I gold leaf my name that was on the front of the piano. And there's Marilyn Monroe. She's down the street on a mural that's at Wico Welding. And so that was the original, but that one's a real small one.
Where would you like to paint a mural? Any particular location that you haven't yet?
I would say probably in the downtown area, or actually I wouldn't mind doing
City
something
Hall? How about City Hall?
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't mind doing something over there in River Park area.
Okay.
And there's Meg Oliver and Susie Frankenberger. I had an exhibit for Havana when I went to Cuba. And I did, those are metal signs that looked aged and old, and those were that's a rum label. And so there was. And that's when I did my documentary. I used to be a sign writer. I mean, a contributing writer for a sign magazine.
Okay.
So I went to Havana, and that was pretty neat little spot that was 1927.
Could you teach a class at Fresno State on how to paint murals?
Yeah.
You could?
Sure.
Why don't you?
They'd have to call me up and tell me, yeah.
I mean, approach you?
Sure.
They can approach me and I can turn them on to you.
Yeah.
They can approach us.
I've taught people too. But the main thing is like
what's rule, like let's say mural painting 101. If you were to describe it in 30 seconds, what would it be?
The very first
Rule 1,
thing
2, and
would
3.
be is that person would have to really want that interest to want to do that. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
If they want to do that, then they can learn it. Then it's just learning how to. Second thing would be is learn how to do a scale drawing. Then you could take any wall, and then that way you can figure out how big everything's going to be. And then if you got drawing skills,
you're talking about measurements.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you got drawing skills, that's a big plus. If you don't, then there's tricks and techniques to anything.
Combat that. Yeah. What are we looking at here?
That was Recyclers International, electronic recyclers. And then there's another one that I did of, it was an art sculpture that was in Arte Americas. And what I wanted it to look like, it was an old piece. And I did all the lettering that says Bohemian Arts Republica to make it look like, you see 1948 on the bottom. And that J that I'm pointing at is to look like it was a piece of J, but actually it's a piece of foam that I painted it to look like one of those old Chinese coins. And then I found a clarinet from the 1940s. And on the top part that holds everything is a wine cork remover. And then the fins on the jade is the fins from a radiator. And then that coil in the middle in the center is from an electric stove. And then I painted it to be metallic coppers.
That's amazing.
And so what I wanted the lettering to do, I did that with Gorilla Glue. And I wanted it to look like it was like a professional welder brazed it to give it that effect.
You know, it's amazing, getting back to this Business Journal mural here, no coverage by the local media, right?
I don't know what happened on that situation. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, nothing from the B or any of the local stations, right?
The B in the very beginning, they took a shot of it, and that was the first part when I was on the F, and
that was it.
I don't know if who was supposed to do, when they did the unveiling, who was supposed to do a media release. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. We'll try to, well, we gave you some good coverage here. Maybe we'll contact our friends over at the B. We got some friends over at the B.
All right.
They're guests here on the show. We like them. So anyway, FranCisco, good to see you.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on all your work, and come back again.
All right.
You're well admired around the city. No question about that. All right. FranCisco Vargas, the one who paints murals here in the city of Fresno. Glad he could be along. Glad you're here until 11 o'clock today. Our next guest coming up here on Connect with Me, 436 MeTV, option 11.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Back here on the show on Connect with Me, you're watching us live on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. Of course, the second half hour of the show, we've got another guest. And, you know, a lot of us day to day, we complain about the smallest of things, okay? Whether they're petty things, whether they're things that don't matter in the course, over the course of time in your life. And yet, if you look at some situations, like our guest today, he's battling, you know, cancer. He's got a serious situation going on, and he needs your help at home. So when you see this story, don't complain next time if you have everything going just right in your life and some little small thing throws you off. Just kiss it off. Jutin Garza, you know, he is the head football coach at Central High. Twice he has had to fight off Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's doing it again. He's trying to fight it off, fend it off. He needs your help with some blood donations. Here is Jutin Garza's story.
Let's go, one more minute. One more minute.
Twice, Central head coach Jutin Garza thought he was well on the road to full recovery from a cancer fighting his immune system, including after a stem cell transplant in 2012.
It's kind of a misnomer when they say, you know, you come out of remission. The real technical term is I basically haven't been cured. So all the things I've done just haven't worked. When someone tells you that you're going to be all right, it's going to be a piece of cake, and then it doesn't work out, you start thinking, well, what if this thing doesn't work out? And then now you start thinking, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, so I really want to live my life in a different way. I put a lot more importance on relationships and, you know, talking to people and saying things that, you know, you'd want to say. I think we all take for granted that we have all these, we have a given time to be around, and I think when you do that, you become comfortable and, you know, you don't do as much as you can. I think we're all capable of doing a lot more in our normal day-to-day lives.
You'd almost want to say this is a guy who's lived 80 years and he can reflect and have some perspective and wisdom, but he's, you know, wise beyond his years. I'm not sure that I know 2 or 3 other people that would have handled it the same way he has, and it's, without being maudlin, it's a source of inspiration for guys like me.
It was never a woe is me kind of thing. It's just that, hey, I have it, I'm going to beat it, and these are the things I need to do to beat it. Never anything sad and mopey. That's just not his nature.
He's still someone that has other people valued more important than his own time, and always puts that first.
And then it's just his mindset. He's driven, and now he's going to do this. I think that's, you know, some people might just flick it, you know, but he's like not even skipping a beat. And I think that's just the kind of person he is.
The kind of person he is reveals why no one seems surprised by his approach to life after 36 chemo treatments.
He's one of those guys that has that rare ability to connect with people without being milquetoast. He has a warm quality that you instantly like him.
He's the center of our friends, and, you know, he's been that way since, you know, 20 years ago.
When you reflect on personal values and reflect on people that you want your kid to be around personally, he's one of those guys.
That package right there, courtesy of Nick King and our friends over at KMPH Fox 26. Live in our studio now is Tasha Jafrida and Jutin Garza right here in the flesh, and the Connect With Me logo too. Both are here to talk about his battle with cancer. It's Hodgkin's lymphoma. They obviously need a blood donor match and a bone marrow match, actually. So your phone calls are important. We'll show you all the dates for the donations coming up here on the next 30 minutes or so. Your phone calls at 436-ME-TV, option 11. Turn down the sound. Back in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back here on the program, talking about a serious topic and trying to fight cancer. And, you know, we have talked about cancer many times on this program with people, victims who've come in here, you know, looking for help and looking for miracles. In fact, Laura Guzman-McGill was a good friend of ours here at Connect With Me. She passed away just last December of breast cancer, a reoccurrence happening there. And today we're talking to Jutin Garza, the head football coach over at Central High. He's battling the same type of situation. And Tasha Jafrida is here. Good to see you both. You were here yesterday,
Nice to
kind
see
of
you.
teasing this program today. So Justin, just going to ask you right off the bat here, how do you feel?
I feel like a champ.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm great. When you do all the treatments I've done over the last few years, you feel a little bit aged. So I don't feel as young as I probably need to, but mentally, I feel like I'm as sharp as ever, and I've been able to think about some things that are really important in the last few years. And
Such
feel
as?
great. Well, I think when it's all said and done, you think about the people who you spend your time with. And I'm blessed to have a great family and the people, my friends that I spend time with, and the job that I do with kids every day, you know, go to practice. That's my extended family as well.
Yeah, and so talk a little bit about, I'm not ignoring you, but I want to get to the gist of this. You've fought this for how long? Because you've had 2 bouts with the same disease before this day, right?
Yeah, so really, for most people, they think it's coming out of remission, and it's really the same disease. I just have not had successful treatments. The treatments that I've taken have helped for a short term, but the
What did you
disease
have
continued to
before?
grow. Well, there's different type of treatments, starting with basic chemotherapy. I did 12 cycles of that over about 6 months, and that usually works for most people. The odds are very high. When I was in the cancer center and getting treatments, everybody kind of felt very positive, because that was one of the, if you can say, the better ones to have. That's one of the better cancers to have.
So what are you looking for now? What kind of treatment? The bone marrow transplant?
I'm doing we're going to do bone marrow. I've done bone marrow for my own stem cells, and now I'm going to need a donor. The last stem cell transplant I did last summer was unsuccessful, so now I'm looking for somebody else's marrow that matches mine.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 38. My birthday's 2 days, I think.
Yeah,
Friday. Yeah, Friday.
My goodness, happy birthday, in advance. Tasha, your role here is what? To try to help Justin through this process in what way?
Well, how I got involved in it, Justin and I are old friends, and so when I got the word that he wanted to share his story, he's usually very private, but to come out and to share his story, to talk to people about the importance of joining the marrow registry, I knew he would need some help. So I'm helping coordinate some of the drives and things that we're doing in our area and outside of our area as well.
Okay, that's one graphic we're putting up right now for you viewers out there looking at this right now. That's Join the Registry Online. That's obviously the website right there. Let's put up some of the dates when some of the bone, or actually the blood drives are taking place, and some of the bone marrow donations. Let's leave that up there for a while, because that is, the print on that is kind of small, so we want people to give them a chance to kind of digest that at home, maybe get a pen, piece of paper, write some of those down. These are, those are quite a few events right there.
Yeah, definitely. We've had a lot of people step up in support of Justin, which has been fabulous.
Yeah.
And the drives that we're doing are blood drives, and as well as an opportunity for people to join the marrow registry through Be the Match.
Okay, and upcoming event here is support the Coach Justin Garza Bone Marrow Registry event. That takes place Friday, August the 29th at Central High, 5 to 9. And let's go back to the other list there, because I want people to digest that list so they can write down those dates. A lot of dates to memorize right there. We also have a list in September coming up, but let's keep that one up there right now. What do people need to do when they go there? Just donate blood, or what? What happens?
We have an opportunity for people. They can go and donate blood in Justin's name, as well as to join the National Marrow Registry. And to do that, all you need to do, you have to be between the ages of 18 and 44. And it's a simple cheek swab. It's like taking a Q-tip on the inside of your cheeks.
And they find out what from that swab?
What happens with that swab is it goes through a database, a national database, for people just like Justin. I think there's about 6,000 each day that are looking for a match.
So they can tell whether or not you're a match to Justin just by that one swab?
Correct, just by that one swab. There's different markers. It's a swab of different markers, and
how do they look at it? Look at it through DNA or what?
It's done through.
Complex, I know.
It's definitely out of our realm. It's done through, as I mentioned, through a company called Be the Match. They're the National Registry, and it takes some processing. You won't find that day if you're a match for Justin. Of course,
it takes some time.
It takes some time, and then they will contact you if you're a match for Justin or any of the other folks on the registry.
Let's put up the dates for September if we could. Pardon me? Oh, okay. Well, then we can talk about some of those dates
Sure.
in September, because I don't have those off the top of my head. I thought we had those. I guess they're missing in the system somewhere. What are those dates in September?
Friday, September 5th, and I think there's some events on September 12th. We'll have everything listed on our Facebook page, as well as if you go to the join bethematch.org
So September
/Justin.
5th, September the 5th, and where does that take place?
September 5th takes place at San Joaquin Memorial and
Okay.
Sunnyside High School.
San Joaquin Memorial. At what time?
I believe it's from 4 to 7:30.
4 to 7:30. And then September what?
And September 12th, the following Friday, and that's with Selma.
That's in Selma High?
Yes.
And what time?
Same thing.
4 to 7. Okay, and those are the only 2 dates in September then?
We
pretty
are
much.
actually going to do something also with Fresno State, but more on that to come. That's in
Okay.
mid-September.
What's going on with that?
We want to really do something big with Fresno State, and we are meeting to see what we can come up with. But Fresno State has an annual blood drive in September. It's a 3-day blood drive, and we're going to also push the marrow registry at that as well.
Now, can people go to, say, the blood center over on Herndon and donate and find out if they're a match, or do the swab there, or no?
Yes, most
They can?
definitely. Yes.
They can do
They
that?
can walk in at any time to any
Okay.
of the 5 locations at the Central California Blood Center.
Okay.
There's 3 in Fresno, 1 in Visalia, and 1 in Porterville.
All right, there's the blood and bone marrow drive. We're going to put that up throughout the show so you can write it down. If you want to call in, you can at 436-MeTV option 11, talking with Tasha Jafrida and Justin Garza, the head football coach at Central High School, looking for your help, and we wish him obviously the best. Back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
A lot of ground to cover here. 436-MeTV option 11. Justin Garza's here. Your story has been well documented, of course, by our friends over at KMPH, and Fresno Bee did a big article about you. What kind of reaction have you been getting, Justin, from the community?
It's overwhelming. That's probably for me, the most emotional part of it is when you see people step up and start a drive. Like a person like Tasha, who, we were friends and we go way back, but, I don't see Tasha every day, and, she's been following what's been going on. We've been talking on email, and finally she just said, hey, I want to start this and I want to get this thing going. There would be no possible way I could do it with the time and a day that I have being a head coach and starting now. We're over 12 drives, it looks like. So that's been a job itself. So people like herself, people that, John Bath at Sunnyside, Tony Gates and Ish Luna, my ex-players, and really individuals who just come out of the woodwork and say, hey, we want to do this for you and we want to help you out. It's a great feeling.
How about your old buddy Chuck Shadan over there at Sanger High School?
Yeah, that's a great feeling. Chuck and all the guys, I enjoy spending time with their staff. We're very close, even though we're rivals at a lot of different teams I've coached at. Yeah. We're very close, and I feel close to that community because I know those guys.
Yeah, Chuck's a good guy. He's actually been on this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I've known him for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
A great guy. Yeah. And, let me throw a couple of numbers at it. I looked on the internet last night, and there's so much to digest about this disease, okay? In fact, there's too much. You have to be an expert to understand what you're reading on the internet. Everything that's on there, it's a mile and a half long. But from what I gathered, and I don't know if this stat is right because there's so many different stats on there. You can look all day at stats. Well, one I found very interesting. It said the 5-year survival rate for those under the age of 45 is 93.5%. That's got to be a positive thing for you when you look at that.
I've looked at them all a bunch of different ways, and I seem to have come
Too
up
many
on
numbers.
Yeah, and I've seemed to come on the wrong side of the coin. Every time we've done something, it has this rate, it has this, and it hasn't worked out for me. So what I've learned in my life is that you can make predictions about groups of people, and you can take stats, but it's hard to predict one individual, and you can't do that. So
Yeah.
with me, you never know. I just want to, those numbers, getting more people in the registry. I want to improve the odds for myself and others so that, we can be more successful.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are kind of confusing, but I found that one positive stat that said, hey, you can 93.5%, that's not too bad. And it depends on the individual. There's no question about it. But of the donors, of the bone marrow donors, only 10% are Hispanic. Why is that number important, Justin?
Well,
and maybe you can answer that too.
We could,
Yeah.
For me personally, I've grown up in the Valley. I've coached 5 different schools, I believe.
You coach so many you don't even know, do you?
Well, you do. What happens is you coach at
you
one,
lose track,
and then you come back a few later and coach the same place there. For example, I was an assistant at Central for 5 years. Then you come back and it's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I'm just teasing you.
Yeah. So to be in the Valley with which is predominantly Hispanic, where you see 35 to 40% of the population Hispanic, and only 10 of them are representative in the registry, it's a little bit disheartening, as well as African Americans, which is 7. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So when you look at people of color, and you look at people like myself, well, we want to also be represented in the registry as well to help others in my situation. I think there's nothing. It's a tragedy to see someone not have a donor because their communities aren't aware. And I think a lot of people want to join the registry, they just don't know about it and how easy. The old saying that they're going to take a needle and put it in your hip, those days are old. That was a long time ago. But I mean, I've even seen on internet people post that type of stuff saying, oh, it hurts and this and that, and it's not correct. But I can't get on every chat room and every site and kind of correct them on how it's done these days. But that really is the old way of thinking. So I want to change that way of thinking by letting people know how easy it is to just get a swab to join the registry.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, caller. What's your question?
My question is that you hear about bone marrow drives and bone marrow screening. My question for your guest is it genetic sequencing that targets a donor who would be compatible for your guest's needs? Is that how it's done? I know you were saying that you do a cheek swab, so somebody has to process that, and through genetic sequencing, they're going to find like genes or compatible genes. I'm just trying to get a handle on that. Just from
Well, that's a great question, because a lot of people really don't understand. I've had people send me emails and they just want to match my blood type, and I say, well, I'm O positive, but it's not that easy. So there's what's called an HLA factor on your antigens or your T cells, your cancer-fighting cells, and we have around 10 markers on them. So
and those are the ones that have to match?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a very long name, but it's basically human leukocyte antigens. And if I were to put letters A, B, C, D all the way around, and you have 10 letters around that cell, I need someone to be a match of 9 or more letters. Everybody from the different, however many markers are, has a different combination. So even in my family, like my parents don't have the same markers. My brother, which is about a 25% chance of working, did not have the same markers as myself.
So does it matter if the donor is Hispanic? Do you have a better chance?
Yes.
And because why?
You have a better chance because a lot of those same markers start coming up because of ancestry and descent. So technically, I can be a match with anybody around the world. But when you have certain ethnicities...
But you have a better chance of matching someone who's Hispanic as opposed to someone who might be African American or Irish, let's say.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Because of those markers that you're talking about.
Yes.
There's a better chance those markers are going to line up.
Yes. And, with Mexicans, Americans, many of us have Spanish. I have a lot of German background, and then obviously mestizo or native indigenous people. So it gets a little bit more complex.
Yeah, so you're kind of a mix then,
absolutely.
A little bit.
Like there's a young boy who's Chinese and Caucasian, and he's a very popular drive that's on the internet right now, and they're trying to find a match for him because it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you do find a match, and you're looking at the Facebook page right there, some emails, Twitter. You can get involved. All you have to do is take a swab. It doesn't hurt to take just a simple swab. That's all. Inside your mouth, right?
Correct. Yeah.
In your cheek.
It's just a cheek swab. It doesn't hurt to
Yeah.
register. Usually, 1 in every 500 people who register will have an opportunity to donate. And so Justin's goal is to get 1,000 people, which means that's going to impact 2 lives. Two lives will be saved. 2 families will be impacted.
Do you have any donors now? Any potentials?
We have people who are hearing the story, and they're coming out to.
But nobody
blood
close
centers.
to a match yet.
I won't know for a while. I have about a 2 to 3 month window of being in the database to find out. My genotype is a little bit more rare for whatever reason. I was told at Stanford it's going to take a while.
Wow.
So I'm the type of person who I don't like to sit around and wait. I want to help myself out and improve my odds. So if it's a drop in the bucket, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's one more drop that wasn't there.
Yeah. Want to put a picture up of some family photos of your son and your wife. Oh, there's you and your son, right?
Yeah.
Talk about him. What's his name?
My son's name is Joaquin. He goes by several different nicknames, and depending on the day of the week, he's one of the different Avengers every day.
Okay.
So I think he's Captain America today.
How old is he?
He's 3.5.
Yeah, great photo.
Yeah.
Next one. That's you. That's your son and your wife.
Yes,
right?
my wife Regina. I'm very blessed. My two favorite people in the world. I get to wake up every day and see them, and come home to them. And
great looking family. Boy, oh boy. And the Bone Marrow Registry website again. You can join online right there, or go to any donation site around the Central Valley. You got all kinds of blood centers around. We got the three main ones, right?
Right.
That I know about.
There's 3 in Fresno, 1 in Visalia, 1 in Porterville.
Right, and again, the the blood and bone marrow drives taking place in August, and you've got 2 more coming up on September the 5th. San Joaquin Memorial 4 to 7, September the 12th at Selma High School 4 to 7 as well. And so, are you surprised at some of the support that you've gotten from not only people that you work with, colleagues, former colleagues? How about your players on your football team? Are they going a little bit easier on you, or are they still kind of rough you up during the day?
We try to,
Or do you rough them up?
Well, that's usually the goal. We try to make it not about that and let them focus.
I know.
When you play a sport, it's it's your time to get away from that. So the kids know, they're aware of it, and they they're genuinely want to help. I was very surprised at how fast this has spread, even throughout the valley.
Word of mouth, I guess,
yeah,
huh?
Well, Madera South, they're interested in doing it. It seems like we're spreading further south and north, and I think if we can just get someone big name to kind of back us up, I think it will spread, throughout the state as well.
Yeah, well, Tom Flores, the former head coach of the Raiders, he does a big blood drive every single year in Sanger. So that's for a good cause, and we need more like that. We got a couple of minutes left. Anything you want to add to this?
Sure. One thing to note is that what we're doing here in the Central Valley is what we're hoping people are doing all across the nation, because it is a National Bone Marrow Registry. So we're hoping that Justin's connections and contacts, even with coaches out of the Fresno area, we've heard from people from Connecticut, New Mexico, up north in the Bay Area, Nebraska, folks that have joined in honor of his name. And it really says a lot for the type of person he is.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's got to make you feel good. What are you guys, childhood friends or something? Or would you guys know each other in elementary school or what?
Yeah, we went to junior high.
Oh, junior high.
Yeah,
Where'd you go to junior high?
To Kasner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where you guys, were you guys buddies then? Or?
Yeah, we
really?
were kind of
Did
neighbors.
You tease her in middle school or what?
Neighbors.
It's hard to tease her because she did everything so well, so you really couldn't tease her. I might have teased her about how high her bangs were, but other than that was really
Other than that,
it.
you guys were pals.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. You've stayed friends and close all these years. And so I want to put that up on the screen one more time because we only got about 30 seconds left here on the program. I appreciate you coming by. That's the National Registry, and the dates one more time for those at home that want to write this down. There it is. If you have friends, family, if you're especially if you're Hispanic, get out there and just, it's a simple, they take a Q-tip, right? That's all they do?
That's it.
And obviously a Q-tip can't hurt you.
It doesn't hurt to register. No,
they don't
definitely.
poke you. They don't use needles.
No.
They don't use anything. They
It's
don't draw your blood.
changed a lot over the last few years.
Yeah, well, with technology and everything else in medicine, I guess it has changed. 30 seconds left now in the show. Anything you'd like to say, Justin?
Yeah, I think everyone's capable of being more. I think we live our lives day to day, and we don't understand the power that each individual possesses. You have the power to save somebody's life, somebody's husband, somebody's father, if you go out there and just join the registry and you give somebody a chance.
Yeah, just look at you. Hey, don't complain about what we already have, right?
That's right.
Am I right about that? We
Yeah,
each
that's
complain
right.
every little day about these little nitpicky things, right? We complain. But when you look at a guy like Justin, we really have nothing to complain about. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. And I hope you get the donor that you actually need. And I know you'll make it. You got a fighting chance.
Thank you. I appreciate
You got friends here at Connect with Me.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for allowing us to share a story.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Come back anytime. Tasha Jafrida and Justin Garza, good luck to them. If you have any questions, you can call us here at 436-ME-TV. And don't hit option 11. Just leave a message and we'll get back to you. Back with another program, another edition of this program tomorrow. Have a great day.